Greetings and welcome back to our
From the mountains to the ocean, from mountains
the
to
Hardwood
the
Report
leaves.
at the half. Ryder Bullock here with you. We reached halftime on our nightcap here at the Maui Invitational. Washington State Cougars out to a 48-42 lead over Arizona State in what has been a fast-paced, high-efficiency offensive first half. Let's get right to the game leaders because Washington State's glass has been nothing short of terrific. 16 points on 5 of 7 shooting, knocking down both free throws, and doing it with confidence and rhythm. He's been the spark that set the tone for the Cougars early. On the other side, Arizona State is hanging right in behind a Diop, who leads the Sun Devils with 10 points on 5 of 6 shooting. He's been steady, efficient, and really the anchor for Arizona State's interior scoring. So if you're wondering how Arizona State has built this 6-point edge, look no further than the perimeter. The Cougars are blistering hot from deep, 10 for 15, that's 67%, and that long-range shooting has covered up the slight rebounding deficit. Arizona State is shooting well themselves, 54% from the floor, 42% from three, but they simply can't match the Cougars' volume from outside. Turnovers, pretty clean game. Washington State with 6, Arizona State with 4. Points off those mistakes, well, Washington State has a slight edge, 9-7. Fast break points and hustle numbers also belong to the Cougars, 5-2 in transition, while the Sun Devils have scored a bit more in the paint, 14-12. The difference in the half is all about Washington State's perimeter and accuracy. So Washington State led by as many as 9. Arizona State had a brief window where they held a lead of 5, and every time ASU threatened to surge, the Cougars hit another timely 3. The officiating crew, Bill Covington Jr., Jeff Anderson, and Chris Passay, has kept this one moving. No technicals, no flagrants, both teams with manageable foul counts heading into the second half. So what am I going to be watching? Well, for Arizona State, can they cool off Washington State's outside shooting? And can someone besides Diop step up to create a second consistent shooting option? Where is, Arizona State's got to find somebody else. And there's some guys there on the team that can do it, but they got to find somebody. Can Washington State continue this remarkable perimeter pace? It's going to be fascinating if they can, but I think they're going to have to manufacture more scoring inside as Bobby Hurley's team adjusts. You know they're going to adjust. So either way, we're set for a compelling finish to this game and a great night here in Maui. But what a day it's been in college basketball. 4 games, 2 different tournaments, a whole lot of storylines. Let me start right at the top in Vegas because that Tennessee-Houston game, that was a big-time early season matchup. Tennessee 76, Houston 73. This was a war because Tennessee showed me something tonight. You don't beat Houston. Kelvin Simpson's Houston unless you're tough, unless you get stops, unless you make your free throws. And Tennessee closed this thing like a veteran team. Jacoby Gillespie, 22 points, 6 for 6 at the line in the final 35 seconds. You want a closer? That's a closer. Houston had chances. Kingston Flemings was terrific, 25 points, carrying them. Uzan misses the half-court heave at the buzzer. That's fine. That's desperation stuff. But the real issue, Houston just flat out could not score in the second half. 7 minutes without a point, 7+ minutes without a field goal, 11 straight misses, 16 of 18 missed. You're not beating a top 20 team like that. Not happening. And Emmanuel Sharp, foul trouble all night, 8 points in 21 minutes after dropping 26 yesterday. That changes everything for Houston. Last year, these two played in the Elite 8, and Houston rolled them. Not tonight. Tennessee wanted this one, and they earned it. St. John's taking on Baylor. St. John's gets it done 96-81. This was a statement. Now, I don't want to hear that this was some minor early season result. St. John's needed this win after letting Iowa State slip away yesterday. They came out tonight and absolutely shot the lights out. 57% from the field, 50% from three. Bryce Hopkins and Sellers, outrageous. Hopkins, 26 points. Sellers, 22 points. 5 of 7 from deep. Sellers has now had back-to-back big nights. That's a guy emerging. And here's the most remarkable part. Baylor, which dominated the offensive glass early, could not buy a bucket. lowest shooting night of their season, barely over 37%. That's effort. That's contesting shots. That's defensive rotations. It actually looks like they know what they're doing, because Rick Pitino, he demands tough. He's tough, right? He demands toughness. And, especially last night, it was a stern talk last night after they let that one slip away, and he got the toughness. Baylor just fell flat. Cameron Carr, though, did help him a little bit, 27 points for him. Rataj had a double-double, but they couldn't grab really any momentum. They couldn't guard anyone, for one. And you give up 96, you're not beating a high major team. Simple, simple, simple. Here in Maui, NC State and Boise State going at it. NC State wins it 81-70. Good bounce back win for NC State. Got embarrassed by Seton Hall yesterday. They looked flat. They looked uninterested. Today, completely different team. They shot 50% from the game. They get in 12-12 from Van Allen, Lublin, 4 guys in double figures, and they beat a Boise team that just never put two halves together. Dylan Andrews tried to keep the Broncos alive, 26 points, 5 threes. Kid was terrific, but Boise turned it over 15 times, and NC State got 24 points off those turnovers. That's the ball game. Every time Boise made a run, NC State answered the 12-2 run to end the first half. That's where things swung. So it was a solid win. They'll play for 5th place tomorrow. Boise will play for 7th. USC, Seton Hall. USC gets it done 83-81. Wild game, but USC showed guts. This was the gut check of the day, right? USC loses Rodney Rice, their leading scorer, early in the second half, shoulder injury, big concern moving forward. But instead of folding, 2 guys absolutely took the game over. Ezra Azu, 25 points, 15 for 19 from the line. And Chad Baker-Mazara, 18 points, carried USC during that mid-second half run. That 10-0 run, he flipped the whole game. Seton Hall, they're good. Adam Clark, Stat McRae, Mike Williams, all of them contributed. And they built that first half lead with turnovers and steals. But late, they didn't close. Baker-Mazara hits the free throw with 27 seconds left. They trade makes, and USC just survives it. A win like this in a semifinal without your best scorer tells me that USC's ceiling is higher than people think. Watch out for this Trojans team. They could win this whole Maui Invitational. They'll play the winner of this game here. So Tennessee shows me maturity. St. John shows firepower. NC State shows resilience. USC shows heart. For late November basketball, folks, we got some real tournament field games, and that's what you want. We got a great one that's getting ready to wrap up between Arizona State and Washington State.
On the island, we do it island style.
Glass playing a little island-style basketball. 15 points on 5 of 7 shooting, playing as calm and steady a Maui shoreline. He put the vibe, and the reason Washington State leads it 48-42, second half in Maui.